Now, Lim Tian, it's well known that you have done many pro bono cases, you know. So why do you do so many pro bono cases?
Oh well, you know, I didn't think I had a choice, because you know, when people turn to me, I mean, I had to help. I mean, if I was in practice at that time when Han Hui Hui was charged, I would have defended her pro bono. No question asked. I recently defended Gilbert Goh pro bono for public assembly offense as well, you know, and yeah, so that is it. It is difficult because it doesn't pay your bills, but if people like me don't do it, who will do it? Then people are without representation, and I abide by this principle, which was imbued in me when I was training to be a barrister at law in England, that no matter how poor or how rich a person is, that person is entitled to legal representation. And you know, in England, they still have this rule, although it is not strictly abided by these days. In fact, a lot of the top lawyers don't abide by it. But they have what is known as a cap rank rule. That means, as a barrister or an advocate, you are not supposed to choose your cases. Whatever case comes to you, if you are available, you should take it. Now, that may be a hopeless case, but if you are true to your calling, you should take that case. And many people say, oh, he's a murderer. How could you have defended him? I never take part in those debates. You know why? It is not about whether it is right or wrong. A person is presumed to be innocent until proven guilty. All right? And so when Han Hui Hui said earlier that once she had been charged, she could not hold any more public assembly, I say, what rubbish? That is wrong. Because until you're convicted and proven guilty, you're presumed to be innocent. Why can't you?
Now, Han Hui Hui, a lot of people say you are perpetual pain in the, you know, right? Yeah? Because I understand, you're also the first and probably the only Singaporean ever to be deported from Malaysia, denied entry into Kuala Lumpur airport when you flew from Singapore at the request of a foreign government. You want to tell us about the episode?
That is why my baby are breastfed. Because I cannot go and buy milk powder back into Singapore, which a lot of mothers are actually doing. But the thing is, a lot of people are doing that in Singapore, which is a very sad thing. And why is it that people are not buying milk powder in Singapore? Because 8% GST soon. So they have no choice, they have to go up to buy their milk powder, diapers, petrol. So they're inside the mothers group, which is why I actually managed to know about their mothers who suffer in KK hospital when they were giving birth, and babies who are born the same year, newborn like my baby, who just become deaf forever for the rest of their life. If this happened to my baby, I won't be sitting here already. The reason why I'm sitting here is because I need to fundraise this. The AGC claim that there are videos made about me, so I must fundraise. Then I must put this bank account, you know. So the reason why I'm here today is because of the AGC. But if let's say, if the KK hospital did what they did to me, to my baby, like other people's baby whereby they suffer miscarriage, children have to sleep at the corridor in hospital, then I won't be sitting here already. I'll be sitting outside KKH and I'll be filming there. So about legal representation, there is this thing that the law minister said, is that because if people in Yishun GRC voted for him, he will make sure that people have legal representation when they go to court, which is what I wrote into the law minister since I'm his president now. So I wrote in, I went to ask, okay, are you going to provide me with any legal assistance or anything? Dead silence. This is as, I think he never read my email, just like he never read his first wife book.
Okay,
this
Han
was
Hui
the
Hui,
issue.
okay.
About the deportation
okay.
now.
No, you were flying from Singapore to Malaysia, KL,
to attend
and then
the
you were
human rights
deported
workshop.
at the request of a
Singapore
government, right? Now, what were you going to Malaysia to do at that time? You know, what were you doing there?
I think at that time, people were curious. is there a horrible dictator who died in Singapore? Then they were also curious, after he died, what's going to happen to his house? Is it going to be demolished or not? So these were the questions they were supposed to debate and talk about.
No, what were you supposed to do in Malaysia?
I
You
was
were supposed to speak at conference or what?
Yeah, correct.
Tiananmen, June 4th.
No, I was
Not
supposed
that
to
one?
attend human rights workshop. It was a
Human rights
rights
workshop, okay.
Yeah.
So you were flying from Singapore to KL to speak at a human rights workshop,
Yes.
and then you were deported.
And it
in
was
night
to
and
speak
free.
about Singapore.
Of course,
Yeah, because
you,
I'm a Singaporean.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So for all the IBs down
Then-
there,
okay.
they should petition to let me enter Malaysia to talk at workshop again. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Lim Tian, you also cannot go to JB to buy milk powder, right?
Me?
Ah,
Can you enter JB?
Not at the moment,
why?
because my passport has been impounded.
Oh, why?
Well, you know, because of all the charges they levied against me. So, yeah, I got to seek permission if I want to travel.
I can't enter one country. He can't even leave the country. So we are all stuck here. Thanks to the AGC. If not because of the AGC, we wouldn't be here making the videos.
But anyway, I mean, I'm not complaining. You know, I'm perfectly happy staying in Singapore. Yeah, and yeah, so I think sometimes it's good to stay put in your own country for an extended period, and then you really observe what is going on. I used to travel a lot. You know, I used to be out of Singapore most of the time. But I will say that the last few years, ever since the advent of COVID, has been very instructive, because then you really can feel the flow of the country. All right, and that has helped me immensely in politics, which I am very interested in, and I have no intention of ever giving up, no matter how many charges I face. All right, and you know that this is a long process. It may take a while for us to bring change about in Singapore, but you know, try as they may, change will come. All right, just like the famous story of the romance of the three kingdoms. Empires rise and fall, wax and wane. Okay, all political regimes change. It is just a matter of time. And there was a very famous British Prime Minister, Benjamin Disraeli, who once said, change is constant. In a progressive country, there must be change. So, yes, I'm happy watching the events unfold, and I'm happily sitting in Singapore waiting for change to happen.
Now, Han Hui Hui,
Well, my son need to serve NS. My son's surname is Tan. You know?
Now that, Hui Hui, I'm sorry to stop you. I think you have posed what, to me, is going to be a critical issue in the coming years. All right? You know something? I served 2.5 years